Nintendo this year has been going ham on releasing Mario RPGs, and you'd think after the Thousand Year Door, they'd settle down for the rest of the year, but boy were we wrong. As I stare directly at my painful, never-ending backlog, I'm happy to say that I'll be adding Mario and Luigi Brothership to my list. Why is this special, you might ask? Well, this is like a love letter to the older Mario RPG fans, and unlike the recent remakes, this is a brand new game with a new story and with potentially optimized battle mechanics. If you've been living under a rock this whole time, there's a history behind it. This isn't the first Mario and Luigi RPG adventure. There were plenty of games throughout the years, and I can't believe it's been so long since Bowser's Inside Story. It's also surprising on Nintendo's part to do this because the series itself was continually getting lower sales as newer titles were released. Now that Brothership's coming out on November 7th, there's a few months left, and based on what I'm seeing, I swear it feels like Nintendo has some secret agents listening to fans, because I was always saying that turn-based mechanics are gonna make a massive comeback. You see, most of the previous Mario and Luigi titles were released on older handhelds like the DS and 3DS. With that, we didn't really get the best graphics, and now that one's coming out for the Switch, things are gonna hit on a different level. To put it bluntly, this is exactly what we needed the series to transition into. I mean, just look at the new character design compared to the previous versions. The line weights with the animation look so lively, and it seems like they focused on making the objects feel 2D while being in a 3D environment. With the characters squashing and stretching and their hats moving chaotically, it reminds me of the old Tom and Jerry cartoons. When we look back, this wackiness is really nothing new to the series, but what makes it special are those exaggerations. You'll also notice these little details in newer games like Mario Wonder with its impressive and expressive environments and character design. Ever since the inception of 3D games, most character animation in general felt kinda stale for decades. But now that Nintendo's suckling on creativity's nectar, they probably realized that instead of recycling old products, how about we just take a pause for a moment and go back to the drawing board? And while they haven't revealed the studio who's working on Brothership, one thing is evidently clear: the developers are moving in the right direction. Now, what do I mean by that? In terms of what I've seen in the trailer, I can already recognize their excellent use of space. This compact and minimalist approach actually helps make the game more engaging. The areas are as big as they need to be, and everything is close by and accessible. No offense, but with larger RPGs, they have a habit of adding many useless assets that only play a graphical role in towns or bigger areas. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but most Mario games don't really have that problem because Nintendo's always been strict and up studios' asses about their Italian plumber. According to their website, Brothership's going to be an island-to-island traveling game where each of them have different environments, puzzles, stories, and bosses. It seems like that whole idea in shooting characters to different areas were influenced from their other titles like Galaxy or 64. The game revolves around Mario and friends being teleported to a new world called Concordia. When we look closer, it seems that most of the new characters in this world are based on power outlets and many kinds of wires that are used in everyday life. So in a sense, the game's gonna have many areas full of electrical references. Now, in terms of gameplay, I love the turn-based and the combo attacks that are still prevalent in the series, especially with reusing the hammer and its charge mechanics like in their previous titles. Whoever the team that's working on this definitely has a great understanding on the Switch's hardware to keep the game running so smoothly. The camera movements during attacks and the platforming and keeping background graphics intact with no form of glitching or frame drops is a good sign of solid development. I think expanding the Mario and Luigi universe in this manner is actually a good idea because it allows the studio to experiment with new design. This incentive will push them to be more creative and make memorable characters that can be reused in the series. When it comes to the game's future sales, my prediction is they will sell just as many copies as the new Mario RPG remakes, if not more. I'm really excited for this game, and I have a feeling Nintendo's choice in bringing back Mario turn-based RPGs will lead to a positive outcome for the company. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and if you're waiting for Nintendo to take your money, consider liking and subscribing for more content like this. See ya!